Yes, the men are fantastic. Some fantastic athletes. Now the biggest key with them is getting them to play together and understand how the 3-on-3 game is played, because it's different than the 5-on-5 game. But at the same time, you want to make sure you allow them to use their athleticism, use the skills that they have to be successful. But it's been going great. Once we've had the entire unit together, I think that we've gotten a lot accomplished. That's why training camp is so important. Not having a coach on the court there, the players really have to understand what we're trying to accomplish. And training camp is great. You can get that across them. You can stop them multiple times. But when it gets down to it, they have to make decisions on the court. And that comes down to just playing together, having some chemistry together, and understanding that, you know what, although it's a different basketball game, it is still basketball, and you still understand time and score, you understand situations, you want to attack mismatches, and those are things that you try to drill with them, and hopefully they'll carry it over into the 3-on-3 event. I mean, you're getting a chance to represent your country in a situation where you're not guaranteed a gold medal. You're not guaranteed anything. You really have to compete, and if you don't compete, you don't win. The men have never won a gold medal, so that tells you how incredibly competitive it is. We'll make sure we shoot the basketball. We'll make sure the sets that we do have, make sure they're together. And we'll really talk about defensive assignments and adjustments based on how we want to play certain situations that you have. Because there's only so many things you're going to do in a 3-on-3 game, so you want to try to prepare for those things that happen the most and ask the players to make sure they're not thinking about it. It just has to be a reaction. I think the biggest part of it is that you have a group of young ladies coming together, and so you got to get them to a point where they know each other well and they're working together. I think it almost has to be seamless when they're out there playing. They have to know each other's tendencies, and the only way you get that is to rehearse some things. So you have certain movements that you want to prepare for, but it really comes down to the young ladies. I mean, they're fantastic. They work extremely hard. Now you have to make sure they're comfortable with everything they're doing, make sure they're excited about playing, which they are. I mean, it's a chance to represent their country, and the biggest focus has been, okay, let's work on things that are going to accent our strengths and try to take away certain things, tendencies that happen inside of the 3-on-3 basketball. I think the biggest key is just toughness. I really think because the way the game is played, inevitably you're going to be beat down. There's going to be adversity throughout the entire tournament. The toughest teams win. I mean, you have to compete through adversity. You have to compete through sun, wind, maybe a little bit of rain. And I think the teams that can handle that adversity, those are the teams that are successful. It's really a fine line. I looked at the original group with Shanae Ogwumike, Skylar Diggins, Priya Hartley, all WNBA players, and they had 4 games that they won by less than 3 points. That tells you that it's really competitive. The way the game is set up, you're 1 or 2 possessions away from winning and losing the entire time. And you're getting a chance to represent your country in a situation where you're not guaranteed a gold medal. You're not guaranteed anything. You really have to compete, and if you don't compete, you don't win. The women, they've been very successful, and so that's the key, to transfer all the things that happened in the past and try to feed on that a little bit, but at the same time it's a new tournament. You have to be ready to go. So we're excited about it. That's what makes 3-on-3 exciting. Anybody can win.
Hey, you think Browns and Jets isn't a hot ticket to start the NFL season? Wrong. First quarter, Josh McCown sees daylight, heads for the end zone, and whoa, helicopter! Is that John Elway in the Super Bowl? No, because John Elway scored and didn't fumble. And we have our first fight of the NFL season. Man, it's first quarter of the first game, and the Browns are already at peak Browns. And as fun as McCown's helicopter is to watch, and it is fun to watch, you don't have to lie about that. He suffered a concussion on the play. He's out for the game, won't return. Wait, who's the Browns' backup quarterback? It's Johnny football time! Get Johnny on the phone! Manziel's first drive, he had a nifty run for a first down, negated by a chop block, so it's 3rd and 19, and no big deal. Touchdown Browns on 3rd and 19. The Jets spent $127 million on cornerbacks this offseason, but they didn't get Manziel. Time to play the worst game in the NFL, catch or not a catch. This week's contestant, Michael Crabtree, who catches the ball on the sideline, gets 2 feet down, then takes 3 steps out of bounds before putting the ball on the ground. So, catch or not a catch? Let's take a look at the rule book. If a player goes to the ground out of bounds in the process of making a catch at the sideline, he must maintain complete and continuous control of the ball until after his initial contact with the ground or the pass is incomplete. Let's look at the play again. Looks like complete and continuous control of the ball, but because of the defensive player's shove, Crabtree starts going to the ground. And even though he's 5 yards out of bounds, he lost control of the ball when he made initial contact with the ground. Basically, the rule should read, if it looks like a catch, but the receiver lets go of the ball after the play's over, it's not a catch. Here it is again, point by point. Catch, 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 still a catch, not a catch. Crystal clear. Dolphins at Bills, and Ndamukong Suh wraps up Tyrod Taylor, who spins and throws it away. Now this absolutely should have been whistled dead because Taylor was in the grasp, and Suh was not pleased. He let the referees know.
The quarterback is out of the pocket. Was out of the tackle box. Fourth down.
He has a point. You don't want to encourage Ndamukong Suh to play more violently. And here's the backbreaker. The Bills were called for holding on the play. If that sack had counted, the Bills would have faced fourth down well out of field goal range. Instead, the Dolphins accepted the penalty, pushed the Bills back for a 3rd and 14, and then this happened. Sammy Watkins with a brilliant catch. Touchdown, Bills. And that's the story of the only time Ndamukong Suh didn't play dirty enough.
Few plays in football generate more glee than a good old-fashioned flea flicker, and the Seahawks executed one to perfection against the Panthers. In the third quarter, Marshawn Lynch gets the ball, tosses it back to Russell Wilson, who then launches the ball downfield where Ricardo Lockett makes a ridiculous grab that might even be more spectacular than the play itself. Now, in a traditional flea flicker, the running back will usually fake a run right up the middle, but in this instance, beast mode gets a little fancy and looks like he might toss the ball the other direction before pitching it back to Wilson, which makes this play extra special. And if you thought you'd seen the Seahawks pull off this sort of trickery before, you'd be correct. Back in 2013, they ran the exact same nifty play against the Falcons that featured Lynch shoveling the ball to Wilson, who then connected with Jermaine Kearse in the end zone for the touchdown. So pretty. Flea flickers, man. Seattle loves them, and so does the universe.
Corner kick O'Reilly. That's a goal, Scott UFC. O'Reilly. Lily. Smith. Latham. Smith. Bundy. Versace. White. Ozana. McCollum.
Shot by Colette McCallum.
Dowling. White. McCollum. O'Reilly. McCollum. Parker. Rodriguez.
Saved by Jenny Branham.
Yukis. Smith.
Soccer fans, the Skyflow FC experience is best enjoyed with friends. For information on organizing a group outing for your team or club, visit the ticket window located inside the stadium entrance.
Column. Dixon. Lobbs. Dowling.
Save by Jenny Branham.